feeling a bit lucky and you want to try out a high roll casino style deck, I've got a deck that does just that. So stay tuned. Let's go. Hey, Milky here, back again with another one. Today, we're going straight to the casino. We're going to the Hela casino, and we're going to see what she can bring back. Hela is an awesome card which comes into the game in Pool 3, which works super well with discard cards. Now, you do need to build a deck kind of strategically around her to make the most out of her, and that's the deck that we're going to be going with today. There are lots of discard cards early in the game which you can make use of with Hela. However, she does get very much stronger when you enter some of the big cards that come out in Pool 3 and some of the cards that you really want to throw into the casino and see what you can pull out from Hela. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at my specific cards which I've included in my Hela discard deck. Alright, so this is it, the Hela Casino discard deck. And for me, this has been the most consistent way I've found to build the deck. There's lots of flavor picks in here, and I know there's lots of cards you can sub in and out. But for me, I've really enjoyed this version of the deck. I like what it does. It's felt the most consistent, and I just like the kind of play lines that it has, especially with Hela. So I'll go ahead and call out some of the key discard cards that we have in this deck. First up, we have Blade, low-cost card that's just going to be a little bit of power push to the board, but you can works really well with discarding cards. Now, you just have to be aware that he is a random discard, so keep that in mind as you're playing that card onto the board. Lady Sif will target your highest cost card. So you probably don't want to be playing Lady Sif for the most part when you have Hela in hand, unless you're just trying to roll the dice there and potentially hit something else. But Lady Sif is a targeted discard, so she does really well in this deck for sure. We then have Black Cat, and if she's not played on that turn, she'll automatically discard herself. So it's just another way of a free discard getting out on the board, which you can potentially use to bring her back later on. Swordmaster, fantastic power push on the board. Same stat line as Black Cat for the most part, but he will be a discard from your hand. Rounding out our discard cards, we have Hellcow, which is a double discard, also random, so you have to be aware of that. But he works great if you've got cards that you do want to discard in your hand, ready to go. He can do that very, very well. So a couple of tech cards we have in the deck. We have first up Invisible Woman. She works great with Hela and discard decks because you can hide all of the discarding until later on in the game. You want to probably throw your random discard cards behind Invisible Woman and hide them there until late on in the game. And then you want to ideally finish that location with Hela. It's probably the strongest line of play you can have for this deck, potentially with Invisible Woman, say, and then you could have Swordmaster on that location. You could have Hellcow. Finish that location with Hela, so you have to make sure that you're ordering and sequencing that correctly, but that can be a great way to kind of discard a lot of things right at the end of the game and then bring them all back with Hela. Great line of play. We then also have Ghost Rider in the deck, and he's kind of like a backup discard card. If you're able to get rid of something big early on, you can make a huge swinging play by bringing it back with Ghost Rider. You just have to remember the interplay between Ghost Rider and Hela and what they're going to be bringing back or not bringing back. And yeah, Ghost Rider is a really good addition to this deck. I really just love the card as well. We also got Captain Marvel in the mix, and because of the RNG associated with this deck, Captain Marvel adds a little bit of consistency. Look, she will fly to a random location if she can win the game, which is awesome for sure. But I just like the fact that you have like a card which can potentially move late on in the game because you have all of this RNG with Hela and resummoning cards throughout the game. Hela is an awesome Pool 3 card. She has an on-reveal ability which reads, play all cards you discarded from your hand to random locations. So it is random. Note that Hela won't work with Apocalypse. That's why he's not in this style of deck. But if you can discard lots of things throughout the course of the game, potentially some big units rare, you can slam Hela on the final turn and get some big payoff for having discarded cards throughout the game. Some of these cards we're hoping to resummon through Hela. First one is Magneto. Big board disruption, big power on this card. He's an awesome way to kind of potentially disrupt your opponent on the final turn, messing some things up, but a big power push to the board as well. Giganto's in there as a discard target for the cards in the deck. Hopefully you can resummon him late on in the game. This is a flavor pick for me, but I found that often he, just having the ability to draw him again with Hela is huge. 14 power is massive on the board, and you can play him out like normally, but I'd say you'd probably want to be playing Magneto in that case. Final card we have, and a great card to bring back after being discarded with Hela, is the Infinite. You can potentially also bring him back with Ghost Rider. There's just gives a bit of flexibility in terms of the play lines with him, but really he is just there as a big power push on the board, which can potentially be sometimes very difficult to answer. Okay, that's it. That's our Hela Casino discard deck. Lots of different ways to build this deck, as I said, but this is the version that we've landed on, which we've found to be most consistent for the type of plays and in our experience. We're going to go ahead and jump into some games. We're going to test it out at infinite rank, see how we go. So stay tuned. All right, so first one we go straight into Hellfire Club. So do we want to YOLO this out over here? I think we do. Just hopefully we don't hit Black Cat. Let's just hope we don't hit Black Cat here. Alright, so we hit Captain Marvel. That's fine. That's a good target for Hela to bring back potentially. And Black Cat discards herself, so that's good. That's good. Okay, so we just have to be aware of nowhere. No Hela at the moment. Invisible Woman would still be a good draw here. Definitely would still be a good draw. Okay, so these locations are interesting. Now, do we want to? I think we can't miss the opportunity to play these two. So we only have Captain Marvel in the pool. Cosmo's not going to matter here. That's fine for us. We have the Magneto still, good power push on the board. No problem. So we can keep going down this line. I mean, we're only turn 4. We still have some good turns to draw Hela here. I'm happy with this line of play. It's fine. It's fine. We do end up drawing Hela, which is awesome for us. So we're only going to get one discard off, so that's just something to consider with this. But we do have Black Cat in the pool as well. Now with Hellcow, this does get a little bit awkward. Because if we're drawing Hellcow out, we could potentially draw Hellcow, I mean. But we're down this line of play now. We have Black Cat and Captain Marvel in the pool. So did discard Hellcow, which is a little bit annoying. We draw Black Cat back, we get Captain Marvel back, and we get Hellcow back.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
And Captain Marvel does fly in for the win there. So that's why I do love having Captain Marvel in the deck. She just has some awesome interplay like that. Like she's a low power card for a 5 cost, but her ability is insane. And for games like this, they're just like the difference between winning and losing a game is Captain Marvel there. So, all right, jumping in here, we go straight into Gamma Lab. So that's a pretty cheeky location. We have 2 out of 3 cards that would be happy to discard here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go roll the dice here with Blade. We'll see what we hit. So we hit Magneto, which is great. We can potentially bring Magneto back on turn 4 with Ghost Rider. Good to know. We've got the Vibranium Mines, so that's an interesting one. No turn 2, but we're going to kick on. Lizard into Vibranium Mines. Interesting. Tinkerers. So we have the option to bring back Magneto this turn. Which I kind of like, because potentially next turn we can Invisible Woman into, if we do draw a 2-drop discard, this could get real spicy. I like this play. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Interesting, you didn't play any of these cards into Gamma Lab. I'm wondering if there's maybe a Shang-Chi on his side. It looks like a Spectrum ongoing deck. Not certain though. I'm not certain. So we didn't draw a discard card, but we did have Black Cat, which would have discarded herself at the end of the turn. Anyway, so we could have Invisible Woman here, potentially had some play around. We were playing for Hela without having Hela, which is sometimes a little bit dangerous, but the Ghost Rider play here on turn 4 was pretty unstoppable. Kicking on with this one, we have Invisible Woman in hand. We have Lemuria, the first location. So we'll go ahead and skip here. We'd love to draw into some of our other discard cards. We've got Swordmaster as well ready to go. And we're going to get another discard off here, which is nice. This is why I like Black Cat. If you do have turns when she's going to come into your hand, just immediate discard, which feels really good. Go ahead and play Invisible Woman. Probably looking at lining up Swordmaster here. See if we can get Hela. Oh, okay. So this is pretty spicy. We can do this. Because we don't have Hela in hand. Oh, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm going to see if we draw into Hela. This could go really badly for us. But we could also, it could also work out. So we did discard both of our big boys, which is quite nice. So I kind of want to keep Captain Marvel in case we needed to fly around a bit. Dracula's going to be potentially a problem. But we do have Ghost Rider here, so we could potentially do Ghost Rider into Ghost Rider. Like, this is the fallback with this deck. And we have Infinite, Black Cat, and Magneto in the pool. We have options here. Oh, that Gambit's going to be spicy. So it snipes out our Swordmaster. Maybe and our other Swordmaster. So we kept both of our Captain Marvel. Just pretty nice, to be honest. So we'll go ahead and play the Ghost Rider first. I don't know. This might be random, but we'll see. We do the Black Cat instead of the Wait, it's gonna fly middle, right? Oh no, we're already winning middle. The Dracula was it was huge. Dracula there was just insane for him. Yeah. We don't beat that when we don't draw Hela. Got straight into Lechigilia, so shuffling rocks is not what we want to be doing. We do have Hela in hand, which is interesting. And we discard our Black Cat, as we like to see. So Onslaught Citadel is an interesting one. Now, we have two potential options here. So if we discard Ghost Rider, we can potentially bring him back later on. But if we discard Hela, I think ideally we want to discard Giganto here, right? I'm going to go ahead and play Swordmaster here. Giganto is the one we want to discard. Beautiful. Sometimes lucky. You know, sometimes lucky. You got to roll the dice with this deck. That's what it's all about. It's all about rolling the dice. So we'll go ahead and do Ghost Rider here. So whether we're shuffling mines or rocks. Sorry, Vibranium or rocks. So we still have Giganto in the pool for bringing him back, which is awesome. How are we feeling? How lucky are we feeling right now? I don't think we're feeling like twice as lucky. So Hela's bringing back Giganto. It's just whether we think we need a little bit more power. I'm gonna roll the dice. It's what the deck's all about. You got to try it, right? You got to be in it to win it. And we do get Magneto, so the best of the two as well. So we'll see what this rolls into. Roll into Chavez. Okay, that's interesting for sure. We can lock down this location. Or we can potentially do something else a little bit spicy. See, this guarantees that Magneto or Magneto and Giganto go to different locations other than this, because it would be disappointing to have like a Giganto land here and then we just lose the game off that. I'm going to give myself the best chance by going for this. We'll see. Hulk's a big one, and Wasp. Okay, so we are happy that we played into here. We do get the Magneto over there. It does pull a bunch of things around. And the Giganto in the middle for the triple location win. You know, sometimes you roll the dice and you come up trumps. Sometimes you roll the dice and you just win like that. It's a fun game. Definitely a fun game. All right, so that's it. Hela discard. Lots of fun. Lots of RNG associated with this deck. So if you are feeling lucky or you just want to try a high roll style of deck, look no further than this one. You can also build out this deck with the high roll kind of mechanics with building some early pool 1 and pool 2 and base cards as well. You can include Hulk in the mix and other cards that you're going to get access to early on in the game because you often do have enough discard cards early on to kind of make this style of deck work. I will say that Hela is kind of key in bringing them all back, and Ghost Rider does help with consistency in this deck as well. All right, so that's going to wrap us up for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Would love to have you subscribe to the channel. Like the video as well. Really helps us out. And until the next one, I'll see you then.